Hi, team. This is Alvin with eXp Realty, and thank you for joining the first edition of Coach's Corner. I am so excited that you have decided to join on, get ready for the game, get some impactful information for your life, and move to the next level. Today, not going to take a lot of your time, but I do want to talk to you a little bit about that word credit. Everybody hears it. Everybody knows how important it is. Everybody knows when you've been denied credit, and you know the feeling that you get when you actually are approved for something with credit. There are two types of credit I want to discuss with you today. That's going to be your FICO score and your credit score. Both of those are very important, but in order to get into a home, it's going to be very important that you understand the importance of your FICO score. So I want to start out today just talking at a very high level, and we will dig in deeper a little bit as we go further down the line. With credit, I think about credit as being kind of that assurance that a creditor has in you before they decide to lend you some of their money or their merchandise. Anybody with bad credit, and we know bad credit is not, it is a bit cliche when you hear the word bad credit because the credit score range continues to expand. But when we think of bad credit, we're thinking about people who have not shown responsibility over a period of time to handle other people's money. So therefore, when that history is not built up, then you're considered to be bad credit. That's missed payments. That's things that go into collections. One of the easiest ways to gain bad credit is to start out by not paying your contracted cell phone bills, renting furniture, things of the such. Easy credit. I don't know if you've heard the Good Times theme song, but there are some easy credit ripoffs that are out there, and this starts the cycle of us earning bad credit. But the good news is that there is a way to live above bad credit. Yes, it takes time, and no, you can't dispute all true and factual information from your credit report. But if you found yourself falling into the trap of what's considered to be bad credit, I've got some tips for you. The first thing that I want you to do is to think about what it means to you to be the lender and not the borrower. And if you are aspiring to be the lender and not the borrower, but you find yourself time and time again always asking people for money or asking someone for money, and you may find that you're getting turned down for opportunities to gain money. And it's a lot of times that's because even friends and family understand that you've got bad credit. Listen, guys, bad credit is something that a large part of people that live in this country, in the United States, have to suffer with. And so credit also opens us up to more opportunity. So those with good credit tend to have better opportunities when it comes to being able to buy a home, buy a car, get a cell phone. Those are things that you are needing to consider when you're thinking about how I'm going to treat my credit. Now, if you've got a few hiccups, a few bumps in the road, I want to give you some tools and some tricks on what you can do to start to wake up and acknowledge credit. I want to talk to you a little bit about two platforms. The first platform is called Credit Karma. I know you've heard of it. Credit Karma is known to offer you a version of a credit score that will reveal to you your TransUnion and your Equifax credit scores. They will update those every day for free. Yes, for free. So I want you to, first off, if you have not done so, I want you to know where you are so that you can create a plan on where you want to go. So the first thing I want you to do is, after we come out of class today, I want you to log on to Credit Karma. And by the way, I am not affiliated with Credit Karma, but I know that they have a tool there that is useful to you. But I want you to log on to Credit Karma, do a Google search, find out any other free credit scoring companies that are out there. There are paid services out there as well, but just for the sake of this class, I want to point you into the direction of the free versions. So I'm going to tell you that Credit Karma is one of those versions. It will give you your Equifax and your TransUnion reports. It will update daily, and it will show you one version of your credit score. Additionally, I'd like for you to consider going into Experian, the third credit reporting agency, and sign up for their free service where you can get your credit score updated every 30 days. What you have to first start out doing, team, is becoming cognizant, becoming aware that credit is important. And if you are not reviewing your credit and aware of your credit, you need to start. Before you can buy a home, you're going to need to start the heavy lifting, and that starts with credit. Credit is very important. We will go into detail about credit scores, tips and tricks on how you can increase your credit score. But the first thing you need to do is become cognizant of the credit score. Now, within the guidelines and the details that we'll later on discover about credit, I want you to understand that there is always a place to start from. If you think that because you've messed up in the past or you had some hardships in the past that you cannot rebuild your life in bad credit, you are sadly mistaken. If you think that you cannot own a home because you have hit your 40s or your 50s or your 60s, I want you to reimagine life again when you build up good credit. I want you to start today. The first thing I think that you should do is to create a budget. Create a budget so that you can first understand your finances, because there is a direct correlation between bad credit and bad financial management. I want to give you some tools. If you'll visit Rent the number 2 Own ATL in the Coach's Corner, I'm going to give you a tool tonight that's going to help you understand your budget. This tool will allow you to plug in your monthly budget and will also help you to calculate what you are spending each month on bills. If you find out that you've got a deficit, meaning that you actually owe more money than you're making, then we're going to start to unpack the reasons why, or the reasons that led you into having bad credit. You have got to go in and do that. That's going to be one of the first assignments that you're going to have. Go back to Rent the number 2 Own ATL and go and download the worksheet. Fill out the worksheet. Put your numbers in. If you don't know what you're spending each month, or the lack of, or not spending that you should be spending, then you are not going to be prepared for the next lessons to follow as we dig deeper into credit and help you to build strategies on how you can actually start to impact your credit in a positive way. But we first need to know what you've got on hand and what you owe, because those are going to help us determine what your debts are. Credit is so fundamental to the home buying process, simply because if you do not consider credit first, you will always fail in the end. We will talk a little bit more about credit inquiries that occur on your credit. We'll talk a little bit more about how long things stay on your credit and if credit repair is really the best thing for you. We will talk a little bit more about whether or not you should start the dispute process, and if so, when is the best time and how you should do it. There are so much information out there that's available to us today that is involving credit and how we can build great credit. But the first place that you should start is at the budget. When you get a budget and you understand how much money I'm coming in with every 2 weeks, I like to look at things on a monthly. So if you're getting paid every 2 weeks, that's going to be 2 paychecks a month, or semi-monthly, or even monthly. You want to know how much money I've got coming in so that I know what my bills look like when I have to spend that money going out. And if I know that I've got $1,000 a month in income and I've got $1,500 a month in bills, then you've got a problem. You've got what we call a deficit. And I want to talk you through some additional tips and tricks as we go through the class on how you can start having a surplus when it comes down to the income that you bring in. But we need to get the basics out of the way first. So remember, the first thing that I want you to do is to make sure that you go to the website, download the workbook. Let's start looking at your financing. I know I'm building up here. I'm not going to give you everything all at once because there is a process. It didn't take you overnight to get into the situation that you're in if you are suffering from bad credit, and it will not happen overnight to build you out. It takes time. When you are interested in buying a home, there is practice work that goes into you buying a home. We hadn't gotten to saving yet because there's no need to create a saving plan if we don't have credit. You can have as much money as you need in the bank, but unless you can come up with larger than 20, 30, 40, 50, or 70% down to purchase your home, then you're going to need credit. I want you to take the time today and remind yourself how important credit is. You will never know what's in your credit file until you pull your credit report. These tools are going to help you. CreditKarma.com and Experian.com. If you will log on to them, create the free, again, I did say free accounts so that you can start to get an eye on your credit and get an idea of where you're at. Do not look away from the screen when you see the score. And I know it may be a little scary, but I do not want you to be discouraged. Because there are some ways that you can do some things to help you to build your credit. But before we go into that, we have got to know about the budget. Remember, rent the number 2, own ATL over in Coach's Corner. You will find the worksheet. When we meet for class the next time, let's make sure that you've got your worksheet filled out and you have pulled your credit scores up and you have got the 2 platforms on lock or whatever other free platform that you've got on lock. But remember, you need 3 credit bureaus. That's going to be TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. I need to look at all 3 before I can help you because we need to know where we're starting from. Don't forget, drop a like, subscribe so that you are notified. Tell a friend when you talk to them, hey, you need to log on to Coach's Corner because there's going to be some impactful information for your life. I'm going to take you down a journey, but I'm not going to dump it all on you at one time because I need for you to suck this up and be able to retain this. If you missed any part of what I have said, make sure that you replay the video. Go back to the site. Remember, the rent the number 2 ATL.com is the website. Replay this. The video will be online for you so that you can remember the next steps. When we meet for class, remember your assignment. It will be download the worksheet and sign up with the 2 credit reporting systems and platforms that are out there that will give you, again, free services. This is a free service to you, and we'll talk about the differences when we meet again. Thank you so much for joining the first edition of Coach's Corner. Remember, come back, check for updates from time to time. We're going to get you ready for the game.